Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is January 29th, 2025, and Barcelona are officially into the round of 16 after finishing the league phase, group phase. I don't know what this new phase is called, but the phase or the group phase is officially over, and Barcelona are through after drawing today 2-2 against Atalanta. This is the post-match live analysis. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. This is the post-match live analysis where we analyze Barcelona matches as soon as they end, and where I get to interact with you lovely people in the chat section by reading your comments, answering your questions, and getting the discussion going. This is not to be confused with the Barca News podcast, where we share Barcelona news and where I also get to interact with you lovely people in the chat section. Now, the podcasts are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and since today is Wednesday, there will be a podcast. So as soon as this post-match live analysis ends, I will be going live once again to do the podcast and to discuss Barcelona news. Anyways, having said all that, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to Goal Kids, K-Bag, or Fanatics. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. Now, let's begin with the post-match live analysis, or with the analysis, however you want to call it, because Barcelona just drew 2-2 against Atalanta in what was the final match of the Champions League group or phase or league or however the hell it's called. But the first group stages of this kind is officially over, where we saw a total of 8 matches, 7 different opponents, 4 matches at home, 4 matches away. We were all curious how this phase will play out, but I think it's played out pretty well, because up until today, the table was still not defined. Usually in previous format where teams were divided into groups of 4, usually by the last match, most 99% of the groups were all defined. You already knew who had qualified, you already knew who was going home. But today, even until today, there was 18 matches going on, or 16 matches, how many matches there were going on at the same time, and you still did not know who was going to go through and who wasn't. Of course, the only 2 sure teams, if I'm not mistaken, was Liverpool and Barcelona, that had already secured their spots in the round of 16. But overall, there was a lot of teams who didn't know they were going to get through, if they're going to have to play a playoff, if they were going to be eliminated. So I think the first phase, or the first group stages of their kind, worked out. It's been a pretty exciting first phase of the Champions League. And again, Barcelona are through to the round of 16. Now, overall, the match was a pretty boring match overall. Did not like it whatsoever, which is disappointing, because I was really excited to see this match. We're talking about 2 of the highest scoring teams in the Champions League. I was expecting, a goal fest. I was expecting, to see some crazy plays, crazy goals, beautiful football. Overall, it was a completely boring match, where both teams did not seem to be wanting to go at 100%. I think both teams were kind of content with the result. I mean, of course, Barcelona were already through. Atalanta, not so much. Atalanta needed to win to automatically qualify. They didn't. So now they have to play the playoffs. So it surprises me that Atalanta were not trying as hard as they should have. And then again, Barcelona also not going at 100%. And that's a little bit worrying, because this is 2 back-to-back Champions League matches where Barcelona has not performed well. When Benfica, yes, we pulled the win. It was a crazy, epic comeback. But overall, Barcelona did not play well. Today, I also did not see a good match by Barcelona. Not as bad as Benfica, but definitely not a good match by Barcelona. Like I said, overall, a boring match where Barcelona did not know how to finish the match. We were up 1-0. They tie us 1-1. We were up 2-1. They tie us 2-2. So a little bit of a disappointing match by Barcelona. I thought they were going to finish the group stages strong, but not much to complain, because after all, we're through to the round of 16. We're already through to the round of 16 after defeating Benfica 5-4 or 4-5. Now, some positives. Let's do some positives overall. Barcelona have finished second in the Champions League group stages. And this is not second in their group. This is second overall. That means that after this round of, I don't know how many matches, 64 matches, 100 matches, however matches they were, Barcelona finished as the second best team in all of Europe And that is an incredible achievement. Had you told me this last season and you told me, hey, next season we're going to be the second best in all of Europe, I would have probably thought you were joking, or I would have probably laughed. So that's an incredible uh, achievement by Barcelona, making it second to in the Champions League. Another positive thing is that since we are through the round of 16, that means Barcelona to get 2 extra weeks of rest, right? Because only the first 8 qualified to the round of 16. The next 12, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or the next 16 teams, they have to play 2 playoffs match each, one at home, one away. So that's 2 matches that Barcelona don't have to play. So that's definitely also a plus for Barcelona. And of course, one negative thing is we had the chance to finish first, and that's unfortunate. Liverpool actually lost. Nobody thought they would lose, and they lost. So we could have won and then ended up first. Our bonus for ending up first would have been much bigger than ending second. So we definitely missed an opportunity there. But again, not much to complain because either way, we were through to the round of 16. Now, as far as the match itself, like I said before, it was a boring match where Barcelona was not really moving the ball as fast or as efficiently as they should have. Starting from the back, I think the Eric Garcia, Ronald Araujo pairing did not work out, and I think it had to do a lot. Not so much with their defending. I think the defending was fine. It was more with their building plays from the back, right? Eric Garcia is usually someone who's really good at making forward passes. He's usually someone good who's making those, line breaking passes. Today, he was struggling. A lot of his passes were off. And as far as Ronald Araujo, well, we all know Ronald Araujo just doesn't know how to do that. So we had, with both center backs not being able to build the play from the back, that kind of made it more difficult for Barcelona to mount their attacks. As far as the midfield itself, Frankie de Jong went back to being the old Frankie as far as his attack. Defending, maintaining control of the midfield. He did a good job, but again, just being very, very slow with the ball, holding onto the ball for too long, doing the circles that he likes to do around himself. And that really slowed the play down. And it's unfortunate because against Valencia, Frankie de Jong was absolutely phenomenal. And it had to do with the fact that against Valencia, Frankie de Jong was really good because he was relying on his first touch passes. Just boop, 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 quick, quick, quick. So it worked out. And he was really good, and he helped build quick plays. Today, he did the opposite. He did the same thing that he's been doing, holding onto the ball too long, which slowed things down. And then as far as our front three today were just not connected. Lewandowski had a horrible match. He missed a clear chance in front of goal. Not stopping the ball well, ended up behind him. Rafinha had several chances that he missed. The only one was doing really well was Lamine Yamal, who, as always, was putting on a show, just dribbling past Atalanta's defenders, doing whatever the hell he wanted. But, of course, you can't just have one of your attackers working. It's just you need all 3, or at least 2 out of 3. But today, the only one that worked out was Lamine, with Rafinha and Lewandowski not having great matches. Of course, Rafinha still having a better match than Lewandowski, but overall, the only one that was really working out was Lamine. So not a good match where Barcelona did not have good intensity. And again, a little bit concerning because there's 2 Champions League matches in a row where Barcelona have not had good matches in a Champions League. But hopefully that will change because round of 16, you don't have margin for errors anymore. 2 matches, you mess up one of them, you could easily be knocked out. Now let's look at the formation that Hansi Flick chose because there were some changes. We had, of course, Szczesny in goal, Jules Koundé and Balde as our 2 fullbacks, Eric Garcia and Ronald Araujo as our center back pairing. Of course, Pau Cuarsí getting some rest, which he did have to come in later. I think it had to do with that, what I just mentioned, that building the play from the back was just not working with Eric and Araujo. Eric was missing his passes, and Araujo, we know he never can make those forward passes. Frankie and Pedri as their double pivot, with Casado getting some rest. We had Rafinha and Yamal on the wings, with Gabi as our attacking midfield, and Robert Lewandowski as our number 9, who did have to be subbed out later on for Ferran Torres because, again, not a good match whatsoever for the Polish striker. And that's, several matches now in the back-to-back where he's just not doing well, where he's not putting on good performances. And it's starting to worry a little bit because last season we also saw Lewandowski take a dip of form after the winter break. So I don't know if it's his age where he can just only do half a great season. I don't know. Hopefully that can change. With center forwards, always one match could change everything. One goal can change everything. So hopefully Lewandowski can find the back of the net, and that could be the goal that, changes things around. But not a good match by Lewandowski whatsoever. Now let's look at how the table ended because we it was again a pretty interesting match today. Uh, Match day, sorry, because there's a lot of matches going on, and again, up until today, there was a lot of teams that simply did not know what their future was going to look like. All right, let's see. Let's make this as big as possible. All right, there we go. So this is how the Champions League table ended after all teams played their 8 matches. Of course, Liverpool in first place, having won 7 matches and lost 1. Again, we missed a big chance today, finishing first. Barcelona in second, having won 6 matches, drawn 1, and lost 1. And then, of course, in third and fourth place, we have Arsenal and Inter Milan, all tied in points with Barcelona. But of course, Barcelona takes second spot because of the big goal difference. Now we have Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Lille, and Aston Villa all through the round of 16. I mean, if you would have told me these will be the top 8, I also wouldn't have believed you. I mean, Liverpool, Arsenal, sure. Maybe Atletico Madrid, but, Lille, Aston Villa, Bayer Leverkusen, I guess they did have a great season last season, but, Inter Milan, Leverkusen, Lille, Aston Villa, these are clubs that you're not usually used to seeing at the top of the Champions League. Again, Atalanta, because of their draw, they get dropped to 9th place. So they're going to have to play the offside. The offside. The playoffs alongside Dortmund, Madrid, Bayern, Milan, PSV, PSG, Benfica, Monaco, Brest, Feyenoord, Juventus, Celtic, Man City, Sporting CP, and Club Brugge. Again, more surprises here, because if you would have told me that Real Madrid, Bayern, Manchester City, maybe even PSG, we're going to have to play a playoff match just to qualify to the round of 16, I also wouldn't have believed you. And then finally, these are the teams that have been sent home. Of course, no surprises here. Dinamo, Stuttgart, Shakhtar, Bologna, Red Star, Sturm Graz, Sparta Braha, Leipzig, Girona, Salzburg, Bratislava, and Young Boys. So no surprises in the bottom 8, but definitely surprises in the top 8, and definitely surprises in 16 teams that gonna be playing the playoffs. Now, we do have, if I can find it, but the UEFA has released, I think, the table, if I knew where it is, to let me see, how do we do this? I know they have released of what maybe here. There it is, the road to Munich, or München in German. So these are the possible teams that Barcelona could face. It's either Monaco, Brest, PSG, or Benfica. So, for example, if Barcelona end up in this top of the table, or even in the bottom, it would still, yes. So whether here or here, it's the same opponents. So either the winner of Monaco and Brest, or the winner of PSG versus Benfica, which, of course, my question to you is, ladies and gentlemen, who would you prefer to see in the round of 16 out of this 4? Monaco, Brest, PSG, or Benfica? Now, of course, Monaco would be nice because we need some revenge from the season. PSG would be nice to get some revenge from last season. Brest would be nice because maybe it's a little bit of an easier opponent, even though Monaco should also be a relatively easier opponent. And there's Benfica. I don't know if I want to face Benfica again after the shit show of a match that we had in Lisbon. I don't know if I would want to go against them again. But this is how the possible opponents of Barcelona. So 2 French ones, 3 French ones. Brest, Monaco, PSG, and 1 Portuguese one. And then here we can have an interesting some interesting matchups here, because it could be Atletico Madrid or Bayer Leverkusen versus Real Madrid, Bayern, Manchester City, or Celtic. I mean, obviously Celtic, they're the weird one, but Manchester City, Bayern, Real Madrid, Leverkusen, and even Atletico Madrid, the way they're playing, I think we can have a really good, nice matchup in this round of 16. So definitely interesting table there, the road to the final. Hopefully we can take it all the way. But again, overall, I think we have to be proud of this team. First season with a coach, and had you told me, last season that we would be finished second out of 36 teams, I would have told you, I think you're kidding. And then again, we get 2 weeks off because we made it all the way to the round of 16. So I think that's a good achievement. But overall, boring match. But we're through. Let's celebrate. That would have been nice again to finish first. Our bonus would have been bigger. Plus, we could have gotten 2.1 million euros for the win. We're not going to. But again, on to the round of 16. So that's what's important. So let's celebrate and let's see what you guys have to say in the comment section. And then I will end it because I'm going to go live again in order to do the podcast because there is news to discuss. Araf says, Mo, I hope you're having a great day. Out of everyone linked to Barcelona in the summer window, who is the number one player you would want most? The only player who's linked in the summer is Nico Williams. Right now, the players being linked is either Rashford or Doku, and those are all players for this winter transfer market, not for the summer. So right now, the only player, well, I guess Jonathan Tah. So Jonathan Tah and Nico Williams are the only two players right now that are being linked with Barcelona in the summer. And out of those two, I would prefer obviously Nico Williams because we need a left winger. We don't necessarily need a center back urgently, but we need a left winger urgently. David says, Mo, good evening. Please, thank you for good work. Yeah, but do it for us, please. I want to know if Rashford will come to Barca. There's still a chance, technically speaking. The winter transfer market has 2 more days. If I'm not mistaken, closes on the 31st. So we still have the 30th and the 31st. I won't count today, the 29th, because it's already midnight in Europe. So it's already the 30th in Europe. So technically we have 2 days. So maybe, but it's not looking that likely because, again, we need to offload someone. We just offloaded Unai Hernandez to Saudi Arabia for 5 million euros, 4.5 fixed, 500,000 in add-ons. Pau Prim is about to close his move to Qatar. I don't know if those 2 exits would be enough. If they were, then yes, Barcelona will be able to finish this signing. If not, then no. And again, we only have 2 days left. So, the clock is ticking for sure. Raul says, Lewandowski's finished. I'm sorry, no fans of his should even dare defend him. His ball control is shit, and he misses clear-cut chances like hell. I'm sorry, but Lewy is done. Yeah, he's not having a good second half of the season. I hope he could turn things around because, he started the season on fire. He was scoring goals left and right. And then these last few matches, is just, it hasn't been good. But hopefully he can turn things around because we need him. We need his goals, especially if you want to make it through all the competitions. Abshir says, Mo, we need to talk about Lewa. He finishes off chances, but he's too slow to react and indecisive. Also, why does he drop down so much? I think today Flick repeated the same recipe as what match was it? Was it Real Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup? I think so. But I think today Flick did the same thing with Lewy, that he was having him play deep so he can drop, that way pulling away the Atalanta center backs, making space for our wingers. Because if you notice, we were attacking a lot from the wings. Rafinha was cutting through, and Lamine was cutting through, and Lewandowski was always dropping in. So I think that was the plan of Flick, using Lewy to drop so he could pull away defenders, and that way open more space for our wingers. I think that's what Flick was trying to do. Mike Valencia says, I'm glad we don't face Liverpool until potential final. Mo, who do you want as a potential opponent? Me personally, I want Brest. My heart says PSG. I think Brest would be the easier. Again, there's no easy opponents in the Champions League. This is do or die, and everybody takes this competition very, very serious. But I think it would be the easier one. But it would be nice, some revenge on Monaco or PSG. So either way, I don't know. I really don't care. I just don't want to see Benfica again because the way we played against them was horrific. And I just don't want to repeat that because you're not always gonna pull a 4-5 comeback in the last second. Romain says, Duran from Aston Villa just transferred to Al Nassr. One more talent wasting their prime for money. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's starting to become really difficult to compete with Saudi because they just throw so much money at players. And I think the only league that can compete with them right now is the Premier. But pretty much every other league is like, there's just no way. They cannot be throwing the money on the players that Saudi does. But I think it's a mistake. I think to go there so young with so much talent, like Gabriel Vega, right? He was 20, 21 when he made the move. And it's like, dude, your whole future is ahead of you. Why are you going to a retirement league? Like, all you're doing is your level's going to drop. and then it's gonna be hard for you to get back into the elite leagues. I mean, he's still young. Technically, he could, but you're wasting away important years of your career. Like, wait until you're older and then go. SA says, Mo, what we get in this transfer window? What can we possibly do? Rashford is the only possibility. Besides that, there was never planned to sign. But Barcelona were like, we need a left winger. If we can sign Rashford on loan, cool. If not, we're not signing anyone because we just can't. Michael with the donation. Thank you, my friend. But you didn't put anything in the comment section. So if you had a comment that you wanted to, you want me to read, you could put it down there. I'll read it for sure. I do see your previous comment, which says we can get PSG in the knockouts. It would be nice to knock out PSG and send them home. I think that would be cool. I wouldn't complain. Think it'd be some nice revenge from last season. Edwin says Lewa's link up on first goal was very nice. Can't really blame him for today. Everyone but Lamine looked step up. Yeah, I actually, thank you for mentioning that. I forgot to mention because the whole first half, I was like, our front three are just not connected today. There's a lot of disconnection between Lamine, Rafinha, and Lewy. And then as soon as the second half starts, I guess they heard me and they were like, we're going to shut you up. And it was like the greatest link up. I mean, Lewandowski with a really quick pass to Rafinha with the cross to Lamine, and then Lamine just does his magic. So it was absolutely amazing link up between the three, even though I had just been complaining during the halftime that our front three were just not linking up. But unfortunately, the team, they were just not playing at 100%. They would seem to speed it up at moments and create a chance or two, and then their intensity would drop again. They scored the first goal, then the intensity dropped, so we got drawn. They increased their intensity again, they score second goal, and then they dropped their intensity. And it's like, we can't go back to that. We've already seen the repercussions of that. And Michael with another donation, he says, hey, Mo, when is the next UCL game? That is a good question. I think not until February, but let's see what the UEFA page says. Matches right here. Oh, wait. I'm not sharing my screen. Duh. All right, let's see. Let's make it as big as possible so you can see it. Okay. So matches. Let's see if they have the next matches on here. No, they only have it up until, okay, knockout round playoff draw. So we have the draw on the 31st. So that's what, in 2 days? Yes. But I don't see the matches. Let me see if we do Champions League fixtures. Let's find out when the next matches will be. Match 8 of 8. Yeah, no, we don't have. I guess they're not telling us the dates. So I'm not sure. But Friday will be the draw. So I'm guessing once the draw is made, we'll find out more about the dates of the matches. All right, one more. Sanjok says, do you think the players lacked motivation today because we already qualified, or were we outplayed? I don't think we were outplayed. It was like both teams just looked like they lacked the motivation, which you could expect it from Barcelona because they were through. But from Atalanta, it's like, dude, you still needed to win. A draw wasn't good enough for them. It's a disappointing match. I really expected much better from both teams. But I think maybe the players lacked motivation because we were through already, which is disappointing. I thought they would come out wanting to win because that's how a champion team or a team that aspires to be a champion should always have the attitude of, I'm going to come out and win, even if the win doesn't matter because you're already through. But maybe they're also, I don't know, maybe it was just too much excitement from the Valencia match, right? You just went all out, pedal to the metal. 7 goals, so they were like, we could slow it down. I don't know, but disappointing match. But again, I'm not gonna get mad. After all, we're through to the round of 16. All right, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna end this live stream because I will go live again in a few, because we do have to talk about the news. There is a lot of news, so there will be the podcast, so stay tuned to the channel. Thank you for the comments, for the likes, the subscriptions, the generous donations. If you haven't hit the like button yet, make sure you do. It really helps the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, also make sure you do. I will see you in the podcast in approximately 20 minutes. And then, as always, peace, guys.